And we are back. Another outstanding episode of the Square Table Degenerates. Today, we welcome to the show former Ohio State and Texans running back, Mr. Jonathan Wells. How are you today, sir?
Doing well. How you doing today, boss? What's going on?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. Just another Friday. You know how it is. Beautiful. Where are you calling today from? Where you at? Where are you living at these days, brother?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Okay, so you stayed down in Houston. Okay.
No, I just moved back here.
Move back. Yeah, my bad. Well, you used to play for Houston, so that's what was stuck in my head there for a little bit. Not a big fan of the Texans organization for Deshaun Watson related reasons, but we weren't there. We don't know what happened.
I totally understand. I was definitely not around the organization when he was here, so I don't even know him. Yeah.
That makes me laugh. All right, so the internet tells me you're a New Orleans boy. Is that right?
That is correct. Born and raised in New Orleans. Went to John Curtis Christian School. One of the top high schools in the nation. 28 state championships in football alone. I was able to win 3 of them. But excellent program down. The school is in River Ridge, which is about 5 minutes from the airport, about 12 minutes from the Superdome. You know what I'm saying? So New Orleans is in a very big city. No matter how they want to tell you, like it's all divided, it's really small to me. It's all New Orleans.
New Orleans for me was Bourbon Street is probably where everybody goes. I mean, you just end up parking down there and you walk around for a little bit in Bourbon Street. After a couple hours on Bourbon Street, you forget where you're at. So you don't really get to see the rest of the city. So it doesn't even matter after that point, right?
Yeah, well, that's for the out of towners. For the locals, we don't hang out there much.
No, not at all. Well, you could tell. I mean, there's
still some people in New Orleans that definitely go to Bourbon Street, but the veterans, we don't hang out there too much.
Made me laugh because I've only been in New Orleans once. It was in 2008, and but the funniest part. It was my buddy Mike and my other buddy Mike. 2 buddies named Mike, randomly enough. One was from Texas, one was from Baton Rouge. I don't know if he's still down there. But we were just walking down the strip, and this guy was dancing. He had a shirt that said French Quarter, New Orleans. And it was one of the most generic, tourist shirts ever. My buddy Mike looked at him and goes, "Must be a local." And I just started dying laughing because it was so funny at the time. Oh, God, it made me laugh.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right, so did you start out football rooting for Dalton Hilliard and the boys, or what was your first Louisiana memory as a kid growing up?
Man, I definitely was a fan of Dalton Hilliard. Buford Jordan was another guy that I was a big fan of. Craig Ironhead Hayward was another one. So yeah, I definitely like the Saints. Obviously, when I was coming up, the Saints were not a good organization as far as winning. So I really like players. I was definitely a huge Emmitt Smith fan. Okay. I wore number 22 in high school, not because of him. That's just the number that they gave me when I got there. But it is what it is, bro.
Oh, so you weren't really. I mean, because that was a big team. I'm from Cleveland, so everything is Cleveland, Browns, Indians, Cavs, whatever. So it's like, did you have kind of any rooting interest, or you were just out there doing your thing, whatever kind of deal?
I mean, like I said, I watched the Saints games here and there, but I wasn't like a diehard just Saints fan, and then especially once I got my opportunity to be drafted, they didn't draft me, so any organization that didn't draft me, I don't have no love for them. It is what it is. I feel it. Even the one that drafted me, shit, it is what it is. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So you're down there in New Orleans. How far are you? I mean, I've been down a little bit, but how far are you from the swamp and all the the water boy type stuff? Is that right down the street, or you got to go quite a ways to get that?
In New Orleans? In New Orleans?
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, my home is 7 minutes from the Superdome, so I'm literally a straight drive to the Superdome. It's nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm literally 20 minutes or less to everything in the city. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So do people really talk like that water boy accent, that Cajun man type thing, or is that just in the movies? I mean, do you still see that every now and then?
That's the real deal. Now, New Orleans, we have our own accent in New Orleans in the city. We kind of have our own accent. But if you get up into the bayous, Lafayette and Shreveport, and they really talk like the water boy. That's real deal for sure.
Yeah. It was funny, man, because when I left when I left New Orleans, we were going to Baton Rouge. I think that was what it was. It was on 10. I believe it was 10. Man, I never saw a stretch of freeway. It was just like all swamp. Like you look to the left, there's a bunch of swamp. You look to the right, there's a bunch of swamp. That must have been a bitch to build that freeway. I mean, I wasn't around when they built it, probably 50s, but my God, can you imagine that job? It's gonna be worse than a roof right up.
Have you been on the other one, the Pontchartrain, the 24?
Yeah, but I wanted to go on that one. That looks so cool. Is that scary? I mean, how? That's like, is that like a floating bridge or is it like a bridge? How is that?
It's a real bridge, but I mean, it's basically just 24 miles of straight water. You know what I'm saying on both sides. You know what I mean? So it's not scary to me, but if you don't like that, I can see how it could be scary.
Well, that's funny. Well, I mean, because I was thinking of the there's another one like that's real long. The one up at Chesapeake Bay. That one's real big. And then, because my wife hates bridges. My wife, she hates bridges. I love them though. I don't like them when they're icy too much though. Like up here north. You were up here for a little bit in the north, man. Man, these bridges when they get icy, boy, you might as well just forget about it. They drive right off the edge. That's horrible.
Yeah, I'm glad they don't get too much ice down there.
I know it was last year they got some snow down in New Orleans. They made me laugh. Yeah, because they never get snow. They had like 9 inches of snow. So where's this coming from? It probably melts right away too. That's great. All right, so did you grow up eating like po' boys and Cajun rice, or what was on your plate when you come in from playing outside? You come in, you probably had a dinner table, I'm assuming. What were you? Was it normal type food, or was it your special Louisiana twist type food? What kind of cooking were you eating when you were growing up?
I mean, regular stuff, but I'm definitely like straight Cajun. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm definitely straight New Orleans boy. So mine's with the gumbo. My favorite meal is crawfish etouffee. Shrimp po' boys, you know what I'm saying? Roast beef po' boys, hot sausage po' boys. Like, that's why I was 230 pounds coming out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So, and still trying to lose weight till this day. That's just some bad eating habits that I picked up from Louisiana. But I was putting in the work, so I was able to overcome it. But yeah, I definitely I eat all of that. But my mom's got the best food down there. I don't really depend on the restaurants for food.
Man, I forgot about gumbo. I was trying to think of the foods earlier, and I remember po' boys. Remember that? I forgot about gumbo. Gumbo is so good. Yeah, my goodness, I love gumbo.
Crawfish etouffee. Got to try that.
I've had some crawfish before. I fuck with some crawfish. We got a question from. Okay, we got a question. Yeah. Have you ever met Fats Domino?
No.
Okay. We saw me and my daughter. It's funny. We saw not Fats Domino, but that was the twist guy, Chubby Checker. He was playing up here. It was a number 1 hit in 1960, and this guy's still out there touring. How many years later? That's crazy. That's before I was born. It's 15, 16 years before I was born. This guy's still touring. That's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
All right. Did you? So, like, what are you and your friends doing outside? Like back in the day, we used to play football all the time. We go out there, we get off school, we go out in the yard and play football.
Yeah.
Unorganized tackle football. Like I haven't seen a game of this in decades now. Like, was that what you guys were doing? What was your life back then? 80s.
Yeah, 90s? A lot of we call it throw up tackle. So you basically throw the ball in the air. Whoever catches it, everybody bull rushes you and slams you on the concrete. We played this on the concrete. We played this in fields without grass. Wherever there was a football at, there was some throw up tackle going on. So we did that. We had a good friend of mine in the neighborhood. He had a basketball goal in his yard, so we spent a lot of time playing basketball at his house. And then obviously I started playing organized playground ball at 7 years old. So I played every sport from 7 years old all the way until I got out of college. I mean, all the way until I got out of high school, and from there.
Yeah, it's crazy when you think about it, man. Because we used to if I went out there and right now, I haven't played football in probably 30 years, but if I went out there and bones would break. Like granted we were kids, but like it's just I don't know. Like these kids today, I couldn't imagine my son. I mean, granted, it's a whole generation, couple generations away, but like I couldn't imagine my son because like my son's 15, going to be 16. When I was 15, going on 16, I was playing football and I was drinking like the horriblest beers they would sell me, like St. Ides and there's all this crap liquor, and then the smoking cigarettes. And this kid,
oh wow,
yeah, he doesn't even have like facial hair yet. Like so it's just like such a different era, right? From compared to the 90s compared to now with these kids. I mean, my God, like if these kids get caught drinking, it's a congressional event, man. Back then, that's just what we did.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. Yeah, maybe that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, he's. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. My children are very well behaved. I often think of my dad. I was like, man, my dad's a saint for putting up with my drunk ass back in high school. I mean, geez, we would just, I say we, like there was other people doing this behavior besides myself. But I would just, man, my goodness gracious, dude. That was crazy. So you started playing at, you touched on a little bit. You played a little basketball. What else did you guys do out there? You run around, you play manhunt. I mean, we were, middle school, high school, that kind of stuff. What other shenanigans you and the boys getting into, man?
You talking about as far as organized? I mean, basketball, football, track, baseball.
Everything.
When I got to my high school, I was on the state weightlifting team as well. So anything sports related, I pretty much played it.
Okay, so your day, once you got off school, you were doing sports year round then.
Year round, no breaks, and that's a beautiful thing about growing up in New Orleans with all the stuff that was going on, being the murder capital of the world at that time. So that I didn't have a lot of free time, so I spent a lot of time with my teammates, and just trying to stay out of trouble, man, and stay focused and get up out of there as soon as I could.
I was the opposite. I was trying to get into the trouble. Like the trouble, like I was because you gotta think of this time, right? I'm living in Cleveland, and they're dropping movies. It's right in the beginning of the NWA stuff, and they're dropping Menace to Society was our favorite movie growing up. My one buddy Jake, rest in peace. He must have paid to go to the drive-ins like 5-6 times to go see this movie. My God, he loved Menace to Society. So we were always trying to get into trouble, man. It worked out okay. We were lucky. I got some buddies that, you know how it is when you're growing up. I mean, half the buddies go to jail, half the buddies go to college. It's
I loved all of those movies, but they didn't make me want to go rob nobody. They didn't make me want to go kill nobody. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? I drink because I'm from New Orleans, and that's what we do. We party for everything. We party when you die. We party whatever. So I definitely had fun to the max, but I was always able to pretty much keep myself out of trouble as far as the law, never been arrested as far as anything like that, never late for practice. You know what I'm saying? I pretty much took care of business my whole route. So I take pride in that.
Yes, sir. I haven't been arrested for anything major. Just drunk stuff, but most of the time stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to do with you. I'm just, there's nothing to do with you.
Right, you just gotta do your thing, man. Oh yeah. All right. So at what age did you start? I mean, you started playing in 7th grade. I mean, were you, in your opinion, did you think they thought you were good right away? Did it take a year or two? I mean, how before you started really pounding it, or like you thought you were, in your opinion, did you start getting noticed that you were just the powerhouse?
Playground. I knew early on. I mean, I owned like several records for Jefferson Parish as far as track and field. When I was 7, 8, 9 years old, I broke a lot of records as far as the 70-meter dash. Some of those records lasted for 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? So I was always like a superstar in my neighborhood, and that's how I was able to get and have the opportunity to go to my high school. They came to my playground and saw me standing out and offered me a scholarship. And, my parents made it happen, and I was able to go play for the best high school coach, the winningest high school coach in American sports history, J.T. Curtis. So it all worked out. But the playground is where I started dominating. As soon as I touched the field, I knew I was different.
Now, were you faster and bigger, or just faster?
Always bigger and faster than everybody. I used to have to wear the garbage bag before the football games, lose 3 pounds of water weight, just jogging around the gym for hours before the game start. Yeah, I was one of those kids, but no fat anywhere, just a big kid. You know what I mean? And still, you know what I mean?
Being a bigger guy myself, I'm not gonna lie. I don't. That's the one aspect I don't like about being a bigger guy is deal. Because when I was in the service, you'd have to get, our waist circumference, abdominal circumference is what they call it. And that was the bane of my existence for probably a good 15 to the 20 years I was in. I hated that. And it's just because I was a bigger guy. If I'd been a little skinnier, 5'8", $150, okay, I'm good to go. But, when you're 6'3", 240, whatever, it's just, you're right on that borderline, right? And you're big powerhouse, but you got to stay within the small man's world. That part sucks.
yeah, I agree. All
right, so did you start out running back? You played both. Back then, we used to play defense. That was offensive and defense line. Did you play some linebacker? What did you do back when you first started? 7th, 8th grade?
I played a little bit of everything. I'm sure I did with and dabbled at quarterback. Definitely played defense. Even in high school, I was recruited as a middle linebacker by some D1 schools. So I played a little bit of linebacker in high school as well when they needed me. So I was always versatile, could pretty much play anything that I wanted to at some point. Played safety in high school, just messing around in spring. But I just found all of my tapes. So I'm actually going back through my whole career right now because I just got all my high school tapes. And a lot of my college stuff is popping up online now. So I'm just going back and really reviewing my career. I haven't seen some of this stuff in 20, 25 years.
That's funny how some of the stuff comes back online after all these years. Because there was, I'm just trying to look for some of my. I only played a couple, but there's the couple games I could find to me in high school. I was just on the sidelines because, I'm a bench warmer. I'm not a superstar, but it made me laugh though when you said it because there was the one Browns game I went back to. It was the year 2000. We were playing the Titans. It was snowy and cold. We were way out of the league. Like nobody was going to this game. It was like December, and the Browns were like 3-12 or some shit, 2-12, whatever. And me, my dad, and my buddy Hernan went to the game, and we're sitting there in the stands. And the next weekend, my buddy Zach Gardner was like, "Yeah, it's like on the game, man." I was like, "Oh, I didn't record it, nothing." And I was just randomly every couple of years, I'll just type in to see if anybody uploaded the game. And finally, somebody uploaded the game and caught me at the thing. I was like, "Yes!" After 20 years, I finally get to see 25 years actually. Finally get to see this clip, man. It makes me laugh. That kind of stuff fascinates me. The whole stuff that's out there that you didn't upload. There's got to be thousands and thousands of. I mean, for somebody like you, hell, it's probably millions.
I went to my high school and they actually gave me all of my VHS games.
Okay.
I have them and I transferred them to digital. The Ohio State stuff, a lot of the games is starting to pop up on YouTube, but I always got like little clips here and there, but never like the whole full games. Like the 2001 Michigan game, the full game just showed up on YouTube.
Okay. We're gonna talk about that game. That game was fun.
I already know.
Oh yeah, you know about hell. If anybody reaches out, is gonna talk to you about that game. That's like it's like talking to Hulk Hogan and ask him about slamming Andre the Giant. You're gonna ask him every single time, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So if you weren't the running back, what position would you have preferred to play, or would you just?
I would have played inside linebacker.
Inside linebacker, okay.
Yeah, for sure. I could have easily made a career that I had natural instincts. I didn't practice much, but I would literally get in the game and interception first play. You know what I'm saying? I would do crazy stuff like that. So
neck for the ball. Did you guys run a 4-3, 3-4? What kind of offense?
Nah, we ran 50. We ran 5-2. 50 fistone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ran a 3-4 back in the day. And those tackle man, that's a rough position. Boy,
Good old 5-2. Coach Leon. We live and die by it, baby. We win 90% of our games, so it works.
Hell yeah. All right. So you were talking about this earlier. So you teamed to 3 different state championships, and you kind of answered this question for me. But the high school, I was going to say, is this high school just good at football, like the Yankees are good at baseball, or was it just good? Well, you were there, but you answered that. They just dominate, right? I mean, how many? You said 28 state championships or something like that?
28 in football alone, 84 total in all sports across the board.
My
so
goodness.
Baseball, very powerful. Track and field, really good. And we're a 2A school, mind you, and we play in 5A. When I was there, we were a 2A school. We played in 4A, where we played all the best 5A schools in pre-district. So we just flew to California last week. Like we played anybody, anywhere. Very small school. Like I said, we only have 300, 400 students in the whole high school. You know what I'm saying? So it's we do what we do, man. We got a lot of trophies around there.
Okay. So it's kind of like, it's more like it's not really an academy, right? It kind of is academy, isn't it? No, just more like a good school, and they just go out and.
Just a great school, great program, great tradition, and the head coach, his father founded the school. That's why it's named after them. John Curtis. It's John Curtis Sr. and JT Curtis is his son is the coach. So it's a family-oriented school. It's very family-oriented. But we do things the right way. We had a great strength program when I was there, which is why we were ahead of the curve. My strength coach actually. Head strength coach with Texas A&M right now. He was with LSU, Miami, head strength coach, Tennessee head strength coach. So I had a phenomenal strength coach for my first couple of years of high school. So that helped a lot.
Okay. What was you guys' mascot?
Patriots.
Okay. Did you guys have was there any stuffed guy who came out with the team or any no furries or anything like that? Okay. We didn't have any of those either. But my daughter's school, they're the Green Wave. It makes you laugh. And the one mascot actually comes out and has it looks like a radioactive. It's a really cool looking thing, man. It made me laugh holding in high school. All right, so do you guys still do you keep in touch with a lot of your classmates from high school? You guys got a group chat, that kind of thing? Okay.
Yeah, my whole my Facebook is where obviously you found me at. Most of my childhood friends, high school friends, and family are on my Facebook, so they all in touch with what I got going on. And I'm very, very well connected with my high school. They just put me in the Hall of Fame 2023 at my high school. So I stay in touch with them all the time. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't been back to my high school in a minute, dude. In a minute. Because we used to have 2 campuses. I went to Cleveland Central Catholic. That's where, or if you ever heard Earl Boykins, he went there. He was a year ahead of me.
I heard.
But the little short guy, he's 5'5", man. He's real short. He almost won a title there. But yeah, they used to have two campuses, one on the east side, one on the west side, and then they closed the one that was by me, and I just kind of lost touch. But I don't know, it's still not a bad school. Now think of your senior year, think of your whole team. Say you guys got a bunch of DeLoreans and you transported to modern day, like all 17, 16, 17, 8-year-old high schools, and they played now. You guys are playing the teams today. How do you think you guys would do?
Smash anything moving.
Love it. What do you mean 6'3"?
I simply say that because even still, like when my junior year, I was 225. My other running back was 220. Like I still haven't seen no high school that have two backs that have be 220 plus pounds at the same time. And we run the veer. So we're literally coming straight downhill. Nobody could deal with it. Like, and our defense is crazy historically at my school. So I think we punish anything moving. I don't see what would have stopped us.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, 220, 225, half those guys going to line. I mean, it's not, it's a beast coming at you.
Yeah.
My goodness. Very Derrick Henry. For those of you who don't remember Jonathan Wells, think of Derrick Henry nowadays. That's the kind of power coming at you. That's a steamboat,
exactly
brother.
What it is. When I look at this film and I'm running away from these DBs or like 5'8", 150, and I'm 230, it looks insane on film, like straight up. It does.
For those wondering still, imagine me running. That's where we're looking at, running full force. Imagine me actually be able to run. I don't know if I can even run anymore. All right, so you had to take like a lot of visits, right? For you. I mean, back then you get 5 visits, I think. What besides Ohio State, what other visits did you get to take?
I only took 3 official visits. I went to Auburn, I visited North Carolina, and I visited Ohio State.
Okay. How on God's green earth did you end up all the way here in Columbus when you're a New Orleans boy?
Very simple. I probably would have gone to Notre Dame. I was a Notre Dame freak from late 80s all the way until 95. I saw Eddie George playing against Notre Dame, rush for 200 yards, and I was like, oh, I'm going there. Because he was 6'3", 235. They like big running backs to run the football. No brainer. So that was my sophomore year when I pretty much made that decision in my mind. We couldn't commit back then, but I never wavered. Maybe like 1 week, I said I was going to go to North Carolina like a couple of weeks before the signing date. But they were never serious, though.
Eddie George, man. Eddie George is probably the only thing that got me through when the Browns weren't here. Because I'm like, the Browns left in 95, and then, they came back in 99. And then Eddie George was the only person I ever remember. Because I didn't watch much at all. 96, 97, I didn't watch much football at all. But I do remember Eddie. Oh, man, because it's funny you say that because I think my timeline following college football is about the same. Because I used to like Notre Dame when I was a kid. I wasn't the big. I've always been a bigger pro fan. I really have. I always loved pro football. But the Browns. I mean, I bleed. I guess most people bleed brown, but like I actually bleed. There's literal orange in there. It's crazy, radioactive. I had it installed. But like I love Browns pro football. But like high school, college ball, I was like the casual Notre Dame up until about the 90s. But you mentioned that it was guys like Eddie George, Andy Katzenmoyer brought me in. I think when I got in the guard, I think that's when it really did it. Because down in Mansfield, Ohio, it's a little bit north of Columbus, about an hour and a half north of Columbus.
I know where's that? Been there.
Those guys, man, it's Buckeye country down there. Well, that's all they breathe it. So every day we just we cut the game on in the middle of the guard drill, that kind of stuff. And it so it's just life around here. Football in the mid. Well, I mean, in the States, period. Football's life. You got to be real, but especially in certain areas, man, they just breathe it, man. It's beautiful, beautiful. All right, so how much? Compared to like today, when there's this NIL era, if they're just doing whatever, and back then everything's so regulated. Like, is there anything that sticks out to you, like back in the day, like, oh, I had to do this, or they were gonna get at me, or that kind of stuff, or you just kind of did what they told you? What was the deal there?
No, you had to be careful. Trust me. I mean, I got a new vehicle, and 3 days later, I was in compliance office. You know what I'm saying? Just from people reporting me on campus, calling compliance because I had a new truck. You know what I'm saying? So I had to go up there and take care of that. But you know what I'm saying? So if NIL were a thing back then, I think I pretty much would have had my way. I would have been able to call my shots, being one of the top players from Louisiana, if not the best player coming out that year. I would have been able to call my shot just like these guys are calling now. So I was about 20 years too early, but it's all good. I'm happy to see them taking advantage of it now.
It makes me laugh now because I think about it. Do you remember back in 2001, I think it was 2001. LeBron was still in high school, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they gave him a Hummer. His mom signed a lease on a Hummer. It was like a $2 lease or something, but they considered it a gift. The Ohio State Athletic Association considered it getting they like banned. I think they made him forfeit some games. It was so stupid now you think back on it. This guy.
I mean, that's blatantly against the rules, though. They gave him a Hummer. Like, let's listen.
Oh, yeah. It was back then. It was totally against the rules. But it makes you
$2 Hummer, really?
He wasn't even coy about it. He was doing the Jay-Z diamond symbol in front of it. Like, dude, we know what's going on here, LeBron. We know what you got cooking here, buddy. He was like that even in high school, man. I remember because I was a security guard back in maybe 2000. I remember he was at St. Vincent. I remember this guy came up to me. He's like, God, this guy gets his freshman LeBron. And then he like 6 months later he was on the cover of SI. That just took off, man. That was a wild thing to see. It's kind of funny now because his life is kind of my life because I'm 48 and he's 41, 42, something like that, whatever. So it's like I saw that whole career, and it's not like his coming in. It's like, geez, man, there's gonna be nobody left in the league who's I'm still in my 40s, and there's still guys in the league who are in their 40s, but man, it's gonna be pretty soon here. It's gonna be a distant memory, brother. Distant memory. That's what started making me feel real old, Jonathan. Is when I would start getting older than these players, right?
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna do the same thing I did when Jordan retired. I'm retiring from the NBA. When he gone, I'm gone. I don't watch nothing but LeBron on the NBA anyway. So once he retires, it's over for me.
Basketball's gotten to a weird place. The season is just way too long, and this load management crap. They don't. I mean, we know who's going to be starting. The regular season's a waste of time for the most part. I mean, imagine me going to a game. I'm paying $500. I want to see LeBron play. Whoever, and then he's sitting. What kind of message is that? I mean,
that rarely happens. They over. LeBron does not sit out games like that. No, especially not LeBron. Maybe some other guys. LeBron very rarely does that until he got 18, 19, 20. Then take some time, bro. What are you talking about? Why am I not going to take care of my body? I'm year 20. But before that, LeBron didn't sit out no time.
Oh, no. Shit. When he was with Cleveland back in the Sasa Pavlovich days, and he went to
3 seconds in Cleveland. It was ridiculous. Crazy. They couldn't take him off the court for 2 minutes without everything falling to pieces.
Do you remember that game against Detroit? My God, I think he scored all 25 points in that quarter.
Yeah, I watched that the other day.
That guy was a machine, boy. Booby Gibson, too. Oh, I love Booby Gibson, man. I miss Booby. I love Booby Gibson. He just right in the corner. Booby for three. Got it. Oh, he would keep
living right on that finals game, and he was 21%.
I know. He lived right down the street here from where I live.
Player. I love him. Cool player, but he showed MIA in that finals. As usual, like they all do on LeBron, and then he get the blame. They play great, they get to the finals and terrible. Or get hurt.
Oh, I lived through it, man. But that was, I mean, just that Pistons. If I'm that 07 series, LeBron, or that 07 playoffs, man, LeBron was so gassed after that Pistons series. There was no way we were going to beat San Antonio. There was no fucking way. We shouldn't even have beat Detroit. That was I mean, if you go back and watch, the whole series, playoff series, that LeBron Pistons series might be one of the best of all time. Like, he single-handedly beat the Pistons. I mean, it was insane, dude. I've never seen a series like that.
I agree.
All right, let's see here. All right, so 1998, you go to Ohio State, right? Quite possibly one of the most dominant Ohio State teams in my lifetime, at least. 1990. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you go back, look at that record. Every game, 20-point win, 30-point domination. Some people say 0-1. You go back and watch 0-2 when they won the title. Go back and watch that 0-2 season. They were eking out.
They weren't near dominant, but they finished every game, so they get the nod. But as far as putting up points, they were not in our league at all.
Not even close. You guys just kill it, man. You're a fresh-faced freshman out there, right? So what does it feel to go out there and 100,000 people most games and dominate every non-Michigan State team that year? What does that ever get old, that feeling? You just walking out there and just stomp like a Roman gladiator? I mean, that's got to be, compared to like high school, describe this.
I mean, unfortunately, college is 4 different movies. You understand? So my freshman year was definitely my best movie at Ohio State when it comes to the type of team that I was able to be a part of. So that year was special to me. And not only that, I had just come off of back-to-back state championships in the Superdome leaving high school. And then we go back my freshman year and play in the Superdome for the Sugar Bowl. And we win that. So, the publicity, the news coverage, everything that I got down there, you couldn't script this any better. I'm talking about crazy. So my freshman year was really that year, and then after that, you know, my sophomore year, terrible. I pretty much delete that out of my mind. Yeah, and then junior year we were 8-3, had a chance to win the Big Ten there. Even my last year, even though our record says we were 7-5, we were 7-4 after beating Michigan. And we beat Illinois the week before, we still win the Big Ten and go to the Sugar Bowl again and play against LSU. So that really broke my heart that we lost that game my senior year against Illinois at home, and that cost us a chance to go back to the Sugar Bowl and close out my career as a senior, as a starter in the Sugar Bowl versus LSU. So
great.
Sucks.
Well, going back, I mean, we got to touch on some bad memories here, but that Michigan State game in '98, I remember like it was yesterday. Everybody does, I'm sure. But like, in your opinion, thinking back, was there anything off that week, or was it just one of those any given Sundays, any team wins kind of thing?
No, man, we came out, we were rolling them. We were rolling them in the first half. But then we have a kickoff fumble out of the halftime. They get the momentum, and once the momentum switched, we just couldn't get the momentum back. We didn't make no plays to stop the momentum. And once they got rolling, man, they came back and beat us. But yeah, we came out, we was on their head at first, but they got that momentum, and you could just tell in the stadium, it was like all the energy was just sucked out of the stadium. Everybody was on pins and needles, and they broke our heart, man, cost us a chance at the national championship. So that was like the only game I didn't play in as a freshman, I want to say. Played in every other game at running back. So I got to get some good carries and just a feel for the game. So I knew the next year would be kind of my year. And 98 was perfect, man. That was one of the greatest teams ever.
Do you think Coach Coop ever recovered from that game?
What game?
The Michigan State game. Because you think about it, I mean, you go look at the 99 record, 2000 record, the record's kind of bottom out, and it's pretty much right after that. I mean, it's kind of subjective, I guess.
I mean, Coop bounced back from every loss. I mean, that wasn't the biggest. It might have been the biggest upset, but he had took some tough losses. Well, once again, I start by saying that I don't blame coaches for losses. Number one, that's on the players. You know what I'm saying? We the ones out there. We got to make the plays, and we didn't get the job done. Unfortunately, he got to take the fall for that. But I think Coop recovered. You know, it just you make some one or two bad decisions at the personnel, especially at some very serious positions, and things can take a tank. You know, and that's what happened. We made some decisions that at certain positions, and the production drop off was drastic. And at those positions, we couldn't afford that playing in the Big Ten, and that hurt us a lot.
All right, so apologies for bringing up the horrible shit. Now, can we talk about the time you scored 3 touchdowns in one half against Michigan in Michigan?
Yeah, we can talk about it. What you want?
All right, just a little bit. You're probably familiar with that a little bit here. And you beat them 26-20. Now, this moment is very Al Bundy-ish, 4 touchdowns in one game. It's got to be one of your most awesome life moments. I mean, besides, obvious stuff. I mean, you go to the big house, get the 3 touchdowns, one half. Are you kidding me? What did you know that you were going to be featured in the offense in this? I mean, it's just kind of one of those things you just were in your zone. Describe your mindset in this whole game, Jonathan.
Well, a little bit of everything you said. I was definitely in my zone at that point in the season. I don't think there was a defense in the Big Ten that could stop me at that point. I had finally reached my peak of what I was supposed to be at Ohio State. So I was in the zone number one. Mind you, the week before that, our starting quarterback got suspended the night before the Illinois game, if you remember that. So Craig Krenzel and my guy Scott McMullen had to step in and try to step in and help us get a victory. We couldn't get it done. So the next week going to Michigan, I knew it was all on me. It was Craig Krenzel. Let me take that back. I knew it was on me in the offensive line, okay? And I knew it was on Craig Krenzel to not turn the football over and we would have a chance. So I knew we had to run the ball. If you look at that game, it's 8-9 in the box. We're lining up 2-3 tight ends. Everybody in the stadium know what's going on. You know what I mean? So that's how I liked it. So the pressure was on me. I was ready for the challenge. And unfortunately, I got 23 carries in the first half. And I had my most carries in the game was 25. My body was not used to getting the ball like that. And literally my whole lower body, my stomach, my ass, my quad, everything cramped up on me. So I was in the locker room for the end of the third quarter and most of the fourth quarter getting IVs.
Oh,
And then
geez.
by the time I came out the locker room, they probably had 5 minutes left in the game, but I wasn't no good after that, So I just set it out and we held on for the victory. But that's a bittersweet game to me, man. I know a lot of people that's not my best game as a Buckeye by far. But as far as what we needed as a program at that time, it's obviously the most significant game of my career, of course. You know what I'm saying? We hadn't won up there since 1987. So it had been 14 years since we won at Michigan, which is crazy, but
right.
that's the facts. So to go up there, be the first player to score 3 touchdowns versus Michigan since 1975. I didn't know that until about 2 weeks ago when I heard that on the film. So to go up there and score 3 touchdowns in the first half and do enough to get it done, I got to salute my defense because they held it down in the second half. I got to salute my O-line. I got to salute Craig Krenzel for not turning the ball over only one time. And, we got it done. Shout out to Coach Stress, man. He called this shot, and thank God we were able to go out there and change the rivalry. From that day on, we went on a 17-3 run for the next 20 years. So that's by far the most dominant 20-year span out of the rivalry, out of each team, out of either team.
Oh, well, the next year, too. I remember that next year because that 13-9, it was in Ohio State. I remember that. Well, you were already in the pros by then, but 13-9, and I was down in Columbus. That was the only time I was really down in Columbus for the game. And I remember because I was pretty drunk. I remember I was pretty drunk. And this guy had this fucking lighter fluid. Or not, he asked me, he's like, hey, can I borrow your lighter fluid? I was like, yeah. So I gave him my lighter fluid, right? And he just starts dumping into the tree. Like, he got to set the tree on fire. He's like, hey, I was like, no, I'm not giving you my lighter. And then he just went down the street, and I saw another guy pushing the guy in a shopping cart. And it was, man, back in 2002, Ohio State was just a wild place, man. I mean, I'm sure it's still kind of there, but nothing's going to replicate them. I can't give you the exact start year. It's probably the 80s, going to the early 2000s. But man, it just, I don't know. Maybe we're older now, but it just I don't see the parties like I did. Like when I was down there last week. Well, granted, it was a Grambling game, but man, from what I remember, it just wasn't the same vibe. I don't know. Is it? Have you been down to Columbus recently? What's your take on that?
I mean, when I'm in Columbus, I'm definitely not looking for the vibe. I mean, I think I would say everything's the same. I mean, they still got the crazy tailgates. They still got the parties on campus. With the housing on campus, they didn't clean it up a lot around there since we was back there. So it's just been gentrified for the most part. But I still feel like they still have a great game day atmosphere and college lifestyle in Columbus for sure.
Now, do you ever just sit at the bar down in Columbus and you're like, yeah, one time I scored 3 touchdowns in Michigan. Did you ever do that? And then somebody just starts sending you beers. I mean, is there a?
If they ask me, they can tell them. But I definitely don't leave with that.
That's great. It's funny because everybody always thinks that like, oh, you got to talk about that all the time. It's like when you do something yourself, you don't want to talk about it as much as when somebody else is doing it. You know what I mean? Like for me to talk about somebody scored touchdowns in a game, it's great because I never played college football. I never played pro football. Get a touchdown would be awesome. But for somebody like you, it's like I don't want to talk about that. Just
but you want to know something real? To be honest with you, like I really just now started even talking about my career. I've never even visited my career. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't end how I wanted it to end. I didn't make the money I wanted to make. So I was mad at football for years, very long, especially the NFL, never Ohio State. But the NFL, I didn't watch NFL football from like 2006 all the way until like 2020, bro. Like I didn't even watch it, didn't want to talk about it, nothing. So I'm just now starting to talk about my journey. And to be honest with you, I'm really doing it for therapy. It's a lot of shit backed up in me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of resentment, a lot of whatever. So it actually, when I talk about it, it actually helps me therapeutic wise. So that's why I'm starting to share my story. That's why I'm producing my documentary now, so I can pay homage to, my coaches, some of my teammates, just pay homage to the people that I want to pay homage to. And I think my story will help some people along the way.
Okay, that's good outlook, man. So what is your vibe going into the 2002 draft? I mean, obviously you got taken by Houston, but did you have any inkling they were going to take you? Who did you visit with? What was your mindset going into the draft?
Had no idea about the Houston Texans. Really, no. I had no idea that they were interested in me, from what I can remember. Like I said, I really I didn't know who was going to take me. Well, I was hoping that I could have snuck into the end of that first round where William Green went or TJ Duckett. So I knew that TJ Duck was my style of back. So I kind of knew Atlanta they wanted a big back. So if they didn't take him, I knew that they might have chose me. You know what I'm saying? So they ended up going with him. William Green ended up coming to the Browns. I wanted to stay in Ohio and go to the Browns. They chose William Green instead. And then from there, I just started sliding in the draft. So I didn't end up going to a 99th overall. Bunch of running backs taken in front of me that I didn't see it. You know, I had went to the Senior Bowl. I had competed against the best that they say in the country, took starting jobs. I ended up starting at the Senior Bowl. I did everything I thought I could do. So why I stood in the draft, I don't know. But my draft day experience, it wasn't great. I had a draft party and didn't get drafted. So imagine that. It was a very humbling. Yeah, it was a very humbling and messed up day. Let's put it that way.
Humbling. Getting humbled is a fuck, right? There's nothing crazier in life than just getting put in your. I'm not just getting completely humbled. Like I remember. I'll think back. I mean, obviously, I'm not a football player, but like I remember when I first started the VA. Right? I worked at the VA, and I was in the call center, and I thought I was the hottest thing ever. I was a cocky fuck. I was an asshole a little bit, and then the job opened up that everybody applies for, right? And I'm thinking, oh, this is a lock. This is a fucking lock. And I didn't get that job, and I pouted like a bitch, bro. I was a baby, and that was I kind of needed that. I did. Me personally, because I tend to be grandiose. Some people call it narcissist. I don't like that word, but I like the grandiosity of life. I like to try to excel, try to do good, you know. And when something like that, but some people like that, at least me personally, I needed to be humbled every now and then. Not all the time. I don't like it all the time. But every now and then, you know, somebody's like, look, man, you're just a guy in the world like the rest of us. You know, relax, Joe, you know, that kind of thing. So me personally, I need to be humble. But God, that just throttles you sometimes. You're like, man.
Yeah. But it's just, you know, just God's way of showing you that he's in control. Because, I mean, you know, back then it was only 2 days of the draft, you know, first 1 through 3, then 4 through 7. So I didn't get picked that day. I ended up being picked the first pick of the next day. So, you know, I didn't get to celebrate with all of my family and friends, but I went back to my house and my parents and maybe 5 or 10 people. A lot of the media showed back up to interview me and stuff like that. But it wasn't the weekend that I expected. It was humbling to say the least.
Did they end up calling you? How did you finally get notified you got drafted?
So I'm pissy drunk, right? I'm still asleep. But I like that night before I was so mad. I just wasn't a good night. So I told my dude that I was with, I was like, listen, bro, I don't think we should go out tonight. Like my attitude ain't right. So I went home and just drunk myself to sleep pretty much. And next morning, get the call. I'm like, hello? Hey, Jonathan Wells, Coach Keepers. I'm like, hey, what's up, Coach? Man, out of there. But yeah, that's how I got my call. So I hopped up, went back to my parents' house, like I said, and then shook it off and went to work and took me a starting job and ended up starting after a few games my rookie year. So it motivated the hell out of me. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. I mean, obviously you have no frame of reference, but you're going into a fresh organization. You know, the Houston Texans never played. Was there any growing pains with the organization? You had David Carr back then and all that. Did you guys just or is it just a job? You're going to work, just kind of thing? Did you notice any difference? Like, oh yeah, these guys are trying to learn their stuff in the front office still because they're brand new, or was it just you didn't even notice that stuff?
I mean, as far as the organization, man, I thought it was a first-class organization. The facilities were beautiful. We had the first, retractable roof, out of the NFL stadiums. I thought it was well run. Coach Dom Capers was a great coach, hard on us, but he was a great coach. I have a lot of respect for him. My offensive coordinator, let's be real, he didn't rock with me at all. He tolerated me, but I was not his pick. Let's put it that way. So I had to always fight that uphill battle. You know what I'm saying? After starting 10 games, they throw me out of the playbook. Next year, I don't play at all at running back. I just play special teams. And then, the next 2 years, I'm pretty much just a backup or a starter if one of the starters got hurt or whatever. But they never fully invested into, pouring into me. I can say that much. You know what I'm saying? So, right. But I did my 4 years. They paid me my couple $1 million and peace. We good. That was it.
Do you still keep in touch with the Houston Texans at all?
Yeah, I was an ambassador for the first 3 years when I moved back here from 21 to 24. I've been a very on the front end of making a program, making an organization look really good in public and social media, and just trying to show that, that they have been doing the right things, behind the scenes. They had when I got back here, the organization was not looked upon in any kind of positive manner when I showed up. Let's put it that way. So I just try to do my part to help reverse that public opinion of people that they were a racist organization, this all the stuff that I was hearing. But I got out there on the front line for them and, pump and cheerleader, but it is what it is.
Yes, sir. All right, now think back in college, you guys would play maybe 11 games in a bowl game, something like that. And these guys nowadays, they're playing the playoffs, they're playing 15 games. Is this too many games for these young guys? And is the college just with the NILs just turning into NFL junior? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, it's not too many games. You're getting paid. No,
that's true.
you're getting a paycheck. No, it's not. And then, like I said, you got 2-3 weeks in between the bowls and all of that type of stuff. So they got time to, to rest up. 8, 9, 10 games, days in between each bowl game. So I don't think it's too many games. They getting paid handsomely. So yeah, I'm with it.
I like it. All right. After your brief stint with the Colts, did you try to make it? This is one of those questions you always got to ask. This therapy question here for you. Did you try to make another team? Did you shoot for the CFL? And what ultimately told you it was time to hang it up?
I did not try for the CFL. Actually, right around the end of my career in Houston, I actually partnered up with some people to start a record label in Atlanta. So I was basically an investor from afar while they were taking care of a lot of the day-to-day stuff. So when after football, I literally jumped straight into that. You know what I'm saying? Now my career, it's another story. You'll have to wait for the documentary to see how my career ended and why it ended so abruptly. Just a couple bad decisions on my part. Fired an agent I shouldn't have fired at all. Should have left that man alone. And that was pretty much the biggest mistake of my life, firing my agent. And then number 2, I had a chance to sign with Nick Saban in the Dolphins when he was the head coach there. And I told him no. And I went up to Indy. They begged me to come up there and cut me 3 days later when I got there.
That's horrible, man.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Well, I'm glad you confirmed it in such a roundabout way because I was looking at the thing. I was like, he's only there for 3 days. That don't seem right. That's
I was literally there for 3. I was there. I won't say 3 days. I got there on a Monday, Saturday morning. Well, we had a game Friday night. I got like one carry or 2 carries that Friday night. Came to Ohio State the next day. Me and Mike Doss. We're standing on the sideline at an Ohio State game, and I got the phone call from 317. I looked at Doss. I was like, man, they cut me, dog. Before I even answered it, I knew it. Hello, hey, I just hung up on him. I ain't even go back to get my stuff. I left my camcorder, everything I had. I ain't even go back. I just went, I went back down south.
Okay. That's crazy. You're just done with it. Okay. Well, to touch on the documentary, what's decided? I mean, it was probably, I'm assuming it's part of the therapy he was talking about, but what decided you to do the documentary and how far along are you?
This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. This is something I've been putting off. But I'm realizing, some certain people that I really needed and wanted to be a part of this documentary, they passed this last year. So now they won't be a chance to get a part of it. So I'm just to the point where now I got to stop stalling and going on and filming. So I'm going to start filming this year, starting in New Orleans down with my high school and get some stuff down where I'm from. And then I'll come up to Columbus and take it from there. So I'm just getting started on it, but I'm definitely launching it now.
Okay. Did you ever think about coaching?
No. I told you I hated football for 15 years. No.
Hell yeah. Well, let me ask you this. You talked about the record label for a little bit. What did you to make ends meet? What were you doing for employment since you quit the football?
Since 2006, I've never worked for nobody. I've never punched nobody's clock. I've always owned businesses. My wife just reminded me of that, which is crazy. I did some stuff like radio for the Browns, but I don't even count that. That's just stuff I was doing for fun to keep me busy. But I've always owned my companies. You know what I'm saying? We signed a deal with Sony Jive for my group. They were like had a top 30 R&B on a Billboard chart. So they had some good stuff. Number 1 on 106 in Park and MTV Jams and all of that type of stuff. So we made some noise, and that was only in 2.5 years of owner having a record label. So I consider signing them to Sony Jive as a real win. Financially, it didn't give me back all my money, but I got a little bit made some of my money back and just kept going from there, bro. That's pretty much it.
Yes, sir. All right, I need some predictions. Browns and Ravens this weekend. They're playing in Baltimore. Who wins this game?
Ravens.
Oh, we want the Browns to win. All right.
I do too. I'm an honorary dog pound now. I told you I did radio for the Browns. I'm an honorary dog pound member.
All right, I'll welcome you. You're welcome in my tailgate anytime, sir.
Baltimore coming off of that, what they did last week, y'all might be in trouble. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they're looking. Well, my hope is that Baltimore's looking. This is a trap game, and they're just. But we'll see. We'll see.
No,
I mean,
so they pissed off. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Well, also too though, they're doing the 30th anniversary of when the Browns moved to Ravens, and they're doing it when the Browns are there. And Flacco's making the first return to Baltimore. He's never played in an opposing team's uniform. So, well, I mean, is there a chance? Possibly, but I mean, God, that'd be awesome.
No, there's a chance for y'all to win. I'm not saying like there's definitely
that'd be beautiful. Me and my buddy are going down there. We're gonna be in the belly of the beast. I love road trips. I like Baltimore. Baltimore's a fun city, but a lot of people shit on Baltimore. I was there for work. There's a fun town. A lot of stuff to do there. I like Baltimore. All right. Will the Buckeyes repeat as national champs? What do you think?
Gonna be tough.
Who's your? I mean, if I was gonna say who do you think is gonna win the title this year? Give me a couple teams.
I have no idea.
No idea.
I really only focus on Buckeye business. I watch the Buckeyes. I don't know what anybody else has going on. I just know historically how tough it is to win back-to-back championships. We have still yet an unproven quarterback. We still have a lot of questions that need answered when we get deeper into the season. You know what I'm saying? Bad weather. It's just some things I still need to see from Julian Sand, being a smaller statue guy, because I was the first one to say that I was a little bit concerned about his smaller size. So I still need to see some things and some bad weather and things of that nature. But we have a chance to definitely run it back. But I'm not just like, oh my God, we're gonna. No, I don't feel like that.
Do you think Jeremiah Hall? You're not Hall. Is that his name? Smith. Yeah. Sorry. Do you think he's regressed a little bit this year? Like the first couple games, he didn't stick out like he did last year. What do you think he's going to have a sophomore jinx? What's it take?
Well, that's what happens when you don't have a quarterback that had 5 years of starting experience in Will Howard. He started with a new quarterback. We started with the number 1 team in the country, number 1. So the game plan for the first week, because of the field position that we had to be conservative. We were on a 1-yard line damn near every play, every series. So he didn't have a chance to go off in the week 1. And then, last week he did what he was supposed to do, which against that we don't worry about that, but he's going to be all right. But I don't know if he's going to get those numbers. So I'm hoping that he's mentally mature enough to understand what he signed up coming back and playing with a rookie quarterback pretty much. So it's going to be some growing pains.
All right. Well, say saying is not the answer, right? And say we finish 10-3 and we're looking in the portal for a quarterback. What guy on another program would you bring in here? If
nobody, we got either we can go with Lincoln or we can go with that freshman. I thought the freshman is one I'm banking on for our future, St. Clair. That's my style of quarterback: 6'4", 230, big dog. But until he get his shot, I'm riding with Julian Sand till the wheels fall off. But if anything was to go wrong, I don't think we need to go outside the program, unless somebody just that great pops up in the portal. But I don't see it.
Yes, sir. All right. And who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this year? Or give me 2 Super Bowl teams and who do you think is going to win it?
Bro, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care. Ask me about I couldn't. Baltimore, I don't know.
Like, it just spoke into existence, boys. If you're a Ravens fan, good luck. All right. Before we get into some silly questions, was the From the Ground Up Records? Was that your record label? Is that what it was called? How'd you come up with that name?
Cause we built it from the ground up. We literally built it from the ground. You know what I'm saying? We're hitting the streets, hand in hand with CDs. You know what I'm saying? How you had to move back in the day. We was guerrilla marketing. You know what I mean? So we literally built it from the ground up. So it made perfect sense.
At first I didn't miss the CD days because streaming was nice, but I'm starting to miss the CD days just because there's so much music choices and a lot of it's really not good. Like, we got a lot more options, but it's a lot shittier options. You know what I mean? Like, when we were little, somebody would come out with a CD and it was a quality CD. Like, those are all songs you want to listen to. Now it's like,
Nah, they got them. You just got to find them. Like you said, there's more options, but there's still great music everywhere right now. So just got to find find what you like.
Yes, sir. Let's get into some silly questions before we close out here. What kind of dishwashing detergent do you use?
Jesus. I don't know. Dishwashing? What they call? I forgot. I don't know.
Everybody always says Dawn. It's the most
Yeah,
popular.
that's a good one. That's a great one. We use Dawn.
How long could you sit in a library and do absolutely nothing before you'd fall asleep?
I'm pretty good at being by myself. Probably a couple hours.
Okay, it wouldn't be long for me. If I couldn't look at my phone and do nothing, I'm out. I am out
Yeah,
like a light. What's the favorite airline you've been on, and do you have a least favorite airline?
My favorite airline, man. What's that thing I flew to? What's that thing we flew to? Dubai, Emirates.
Emirates. Oh, you went to Dubai. Okay, describe that. I'm fascinated by Dubai because I'm a big weed guy, right? I'm a huge weed guy, and like you can't do weed in Dubai from what I've read. So like
you can't. Go to Dubai, you gotta know the right people, but you can.
Okay, I mean, when you go to Dubai, is it like? I mean, is it truly like a police state? I mean, can you just walk around? What's the vibe like over there?
Dubai is amazing. It's the best thing I've ever seen on earth so far. Literally no crime. You don't have to worry about watching your back. None of that. When you literally your stress levels goes to zero when you hit the UAE. All of it for the most part. All the stuff we talk over here about this, it's the total opposite. You don't have to worry about crime. You don't have you can leave your 5-year-old kids out at night. Ain't nobody gonna touch them or mess with them. Like it's a really great lifestyle. And when you talk about buildings and architecture, crazy.
So, yeah, it's crazy. It's some people. Did you? There's some exotic cars over there. You got to see some cars over there. You probably ain't seen in a minute, right? What? Any memories of? Well, I mean, are you a car guy yourself? What kind of? What's your favorite car?
I'm always like I keep a nice car, but my dream car, probably like the Phantom truck. I like big stuff. I don't like.
It's got to be us tall guys. We can't get in them sports cars, dude. I know it sucks.
If anything, but like I'm kind of over the car thing too. Like once you drive it for a little while, it's all the same stuff, bro. You know what I mean?
You are cut from the same cloth on that one. I could give one fuck what I drive.
I'm not gonna say that. I like to drive something. It got to be real decent, but it don't have to be all of that either.
Well, I'm not exactly the world's neatest guy, so I don't really take care of cars. So that's whatever with me. All right, let's see. When was the last time you were at the zoo?
Zoo, Jesus. Probably took my daughter to the zoo probably years ago. I don't remember what year that would be though.
It seems like everybody's always when their kids are little. It's been rare. I've asked that question. Somebody's like, "Oh yeah, it was last week." No adults like the zoo. It seems like. When was the last time you used a vacuum cleaner?
Yesterday.
Okay, it's been a while for me, dude. I don't vacuum much. Well, that's why. I mean, the wife's a stay-at-home wife. That's what she's doing, you know. She doesn't watch the show, so I can talk shit. What do you think about the Caribbean? And have you ever been to the Virgin Islands?
I have not been to the Virgin Islands.
Ooh, you would like it. You would like St. Thomas. St. John, too. St. John's nice, man.
I just got back from Colombia for 2 months, though.
Okay. Wait, Cartagena? What are we doing out in Colombia? The beaches and all that?
Nah, we have a couple places over there in Barranquilla.
Oh, okay. That's cool as hell, man. Nice. Yeah, I know I have a friend from high school. She was adopted from Colombia, but I've never been to Colombia. I've never been to South America, actually. Further south, I think I've been is Honduras for the military. I've never been.
Okay. Over there.
All right. Who, in your opinion, who are the 3 most famous people you have met in your life?
Man, that's the most famous people. I mean, I could pick anybody on the football field that I played against. I mean, I didn't play against the most famous people in football you want to talk about. Ray Lewis type of guys. Ed Reed. We played playground together. Ed Reed, we started the playground together. Andre Johnson, obviously my teammate. Actors and all of that stuff. I done met a bunch of them, but I don't know.
Okay. How long would it take you to parallel park a car?
Depends if it's nighttime or daytime. Probably like not daytime easy. Nighttime, I might take me a couple times. I might take me about 2-3 minutes.
It's funny to me how there's some people who they'll parallel park a car for the maneuverability on the driving test, and that's the last time they'll parallel park a car their entire life. They will never do it again.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, Beatles or Queen? Who would you pick out of those 2 bands?
Beatles.
Okay. All right. And what is something you haven't done yet you are sure you're going to do by the time you're 50? And what is your advice for your future self?
Something that I haven't done that I'm going to do by the time I'm 50.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to build a yoga and wellness sanctuary on 20 to 30 acres in Colombia. And it will be a rest haven and save a bunch of lives.
Ooh, nice. Now, let me ask you this. I know this is completely off topic, and I don't know if you're a weed smoker or not, but can you smoke weed in Colombia? Yes or no?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And it's legal. I'm not going to like go down to Colombia and smoke weed, and then Gestapo's going to come hand me up. It's fully legal, right?
I don't know if it's legal, but they bring it to my house.
Okay, cool. That's all. You sold me. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, they deliver it.
Outstanding. We'd like to thank Mr. Jonathan Wells for joining us today. It's been an honor, sir. It's a fun time, my friend.
Appreciate you, my boy.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week. Peace. All right. Looks like we're clear, my friend. Thanks so much, brother.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, I'll at you.
All right.